Yeah, I really believe in legislation and macroeconomic policy. I don't think idealism and behavior change education is really going to get us to the goalpost, unfortunately. I've become a lot more cynical about that. A really, really good example of macroeconomic policies forcing people to do the right thing is this comment. I don't want to kind of jump ahead of you here, but 20 euros back if your phone doesn't function anymore. That's a very, very popular argument right now, which is being discussed in recycling value chains. You're supposed to take people in macroeconomics who can definitely afford to pay more and charge them more, charge them an amount which is not going to not allow them to access the product and ring fence that money for what the government wants to do. The next time you take an international flight anywhere in the world, this is to any of your participants, look down at the receipts. You're in the top 5% of global society. You're most likely very upper middle class, and you'll see about 30 different tax brackets that you're paying for, because they know they can tax you. The government knows that you'll always be able to pay $5 more to take a flight from Paris to Barcelona or from London to New York City. And if you can afford the latest Macintosh Apple iPhone, you can most certainly pay a deposit of $100 that you're not going to get back until you kind of return that phone to an Apple retailer. That's an amount of money which is not going to get in the way of a very linear business model like Apple. It's the amount of money on a flight. If you forced people to buy the carbon offsets on flights, I think you would still find that business class travelers, the bread and butter of airlines' profit and business revenue, isn't going to go anywhere. And yet the government will have this enormous fund in which it can ring fence and start spending towards environmental decisions. Especially with recycling, it's so tedious, to have to ask people, take a peanut butter jar, for example. It has 4 different plastic typologies on it. It has this sticker, which you can never get off. You have to wash the peanut butter off the inside of your peanut butter jar. I don't believe in idealism in education. No one is going to do that at a scalable level. You need to figure out a way through macroeconomics and legislation to force people to do things, or to just not depend on them at all by creating ring-fenced finances that you can start spending on green investments and green technologies.